Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to imagine with me for just a second. Close your eyes and think about buying a home, okay? Just buying a home. How would you normally do that? You would call a real estate agent. You would ask them you want to see some sort of house, and you would wait for them to get back to you to make sure the schedule is okay with the home seller, their agent's schedule's okay, and your schedule's okay. But then what if you didn't need to do any of that? You just popped on a set of VR headsets and you just toured the home when you got home from work, still in your work clothes, and toured the home you want. And if you liked it, you can just move your eyeball, select an icon, buy now. What a vision that would be. Sounds kind of far off, but you know what? With the emerging technologies of AI, artificial intelligence, VR, virtual reality, and AR, augmented reality, it's coming soon. We'll get into that in just a moment. But first, let's go ahead and go around the table for introductions. I'm Rob Kyleman.
I'm Joshua Britt.
All right. We're your co-hosts here, real estate agents and investors. And joining with us today is Mark Smalls. He is a real estate photographer.
Yes, indubitably.
Awesome. And we got Sade Ankrum.
Hello.
Owner of AAA Staging, a staging company here in the Hampton Roads area of Virginia. Guys, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
What an intro.
Yeah.
You like
right?
that? Yeah. All right.
That felt good. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad
go.
you guys feel welcome. So let's start off with that question I just posed to you. All right. We're real estate agents. That usually is the buyer agent's role. Okay. Now, if we start putting AI into the mix and with some of these virtual reality, it starts diminishing, I feel, in a sense of the buyer agent's responsibilities on the real estate agent side. What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, we're going to get into this, but, I'm curious to hear how many of our viewers out there think that, real estate agents and certain players in the industry can be replaced sooner or later. Because technology, especially AI, is becoming a disruptive force, and there's very well a possibility it could disrupt the real estate industry.
I mean, we are users of AI with our workflow. And what I can say is some of this AI is getting very good, man. Like not only is it great at like text messaging, like chatbots, but now they have ones that'll straight up call you. And you know what? At first, you used to be able to pick them out because they sounded not just the mannerisms and stuff weren't quite human. But now it's getting so good that they even like laugh at your jokes. And you'll ask them a question, and they're like, "That's a really good question," and then they'll keep going. It's not an unnatural pause. It's almost like a regular conversation with a human being would have, just like as if I'm talking right now. AI could do this.
Yes,
and it's getting closer and closer. In real estate agents, we make sales calls, cold calling or whatever like that, and I'm sure there's a lot of viewers out there that just hate it. It's part of the job, though, guys. I mean, shoot, but now you have bots that can do it, and they sound just like human. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I wonder what else in the industry they may try to replace next.
I know. I've heard of home staging being done by virtual reality, by AI, just doing home staging and stuff like that, or just like apps and stuff. I mean, how do we traditionally stage a house?
Let's go to our staging expert,
Right?
Award-winning
stager. That yeah.
So basically, in my opinion, I feel like it's pretty simple. So basically, the agent will call us and say, "Hey, I have this particular property that I want to have staged," and so we go to the property. We kind of map out exactly what we're going to use, kind of what style fits the actual home. Map out the living room, dining room, primary bedroom, and then we pick a date and we move in. And it's literally a move in. And we bring everything, the dining room table, couches, bed frames, and it's simple, but it's complex at the same time. Because, again, our job is to highlight the house. And so for home staging, I always feel like we're creating the picture for the particular buyer and basically showing them how they can decorate their house and how it would feel if they were actually living in that space. So that's a brief overview of what we do.
I've seen some of your stages. I think that's anything but simple.
Yeah, it's very
I
complex.
think you're not giving yourself enough credit there, because I've seen just the details that you put on the counters and stuff like that. It seems like it's not like you're just filling the whole spaces of the walls. You're putting it in the right way, so when it comes in, you come in the door, and if you're just walking through the house, it catches your eye and draws your eyes towards like the more important features of the house, I feel.
Absolutely. And these two right here, they complement each other very, very
I
well.
love Mark.
To the point, they love you too, because I can't count how many offers I've had where you staged it, you took the photography, and the buyers want to buy the house and everything in it.
Yes.
I was going to ask, how many times does that happen?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah,
it
a lot of
happens
buyers
a
will ask to
lot,
buy the
yeah.
furniture or something like that.
Yes.
Have you ever sold it or no?
I've done it twice.
Really?
I just find that when we do that, it takes so much time to create and purchase all of the pieces, and so the numerical value that we get from the buyer doesn't equate to the time that we went.
Sure, yeah.
You know, the time that goes into it, the driving around, the ordering of extra pieces. So then now I have to replace that home. And I have to do that shopping all over again. And that number that buyer gave me probably won't cover half of what I actually paid for the goods that they want. So just 2 times, and I learned my lesson very, very, very fast. Not a good idea. Now, if it's time for me to phase out furniture and someone kind of, asks me, I might take a step back and think about it and say, well, I was going to sell this on Facebook Marketplace or something like that. So, if they want it, I might sell like a nook or something like that. But for the most part, I decline.
So what would you say in the photography part of it, when a house is staged, how does that help you with your photography?
So I tremendously. It always helps because it just kind of brings you a lot of the spaces now with these open concepts. It's hard to see where things are supposed to go, or they're just one big grand room, and you're like, how do you fit a dining room table? It doesn't work. But when the staging is there, it just takes it to the next level. You know what I mean? Like it feels like a home instead of just a box. I guess, I don't know, but yeah, it's always nice to walk into either a staged. It either has to be completely empty or staged. Like that's the in between, like moving out with boxes and stuff. You might as well just wait, just move out, let her come in, let her do the thing, and then. But yeah, I love coming into a stage home, and she's got a unique style that you can always tell too, which is kind of fun to. Even if it's a house I don't know that she's done, I go in and I'm like, oh, this is Charday. She's been here. You see the little creases in them.
And then I look at the pictures and I'm like, Mark took those pictures. He did those pictures, I can tell.
So one of the things that what I liked about staging is that there's been I don't know if you've had it with your buyers, but every time I've had buyers, seriously, if it won't fit their couch, they won't buy the house.
That's facts.
Their $2,000 couch, they won't buy the whole house for, or if it doesn't fit their king size bed, they'll say, never mind, I'm moving on to the next house.
Yes.
$500
And
bed frame.
it's unbelievable. It is the craziest thing ever. As an agent, it just eats at you. You're like, wait a minute, we're talking about spending $800,000 on this new house, and we're talking about a $2,000 couch or
You like
a
it that
dining room
much?
table or whatever it is. Like, come on here. Like, where's the priorities? Like, it just eats at you when you're an agent and you come across this dilemma of a buyer. Every house you go into, oh, no, I don't think my couch is going to fit there. I'm like, I got to see these couches. Like, when can we see the couch?
Made of gold.
Yeah.
Right.
And most of the time they need to just get rid of it
Yes.
before they move in.
But I think that staging does help when you have a certain size couch. They're like, you know what? I think my couch can fit here, my $2,000 couch.
Yeah.
Okay, well, great. Yeah, I guess I could see my king size bed fitting here.
Yeah, beds are always the harder one. Like a couch or a dining room table, it shouldn't be that difficult. But yeah, if you got a king size bed and you're trying to figure that out, that's where I think staging kind of really wins over a buyer is in the bedrooms. Like, can my bed fit here? That's what most people want to know.
I mean, because realistically, I mean, I don't know if nobody can really see this on camera, but this room, our studio right now, is a rectangle. Okay, but if you have nothing in here, it's just a rectangle. But now, when you put a table in here, you put some lights and stuff, microphones and stuff. Now it has a purpose. It actually defines what this space is, and that's what I feel is what kind of staging does.
Yeah.
At least for the sales of the house, it's kind of like whenever any product. It doesn't matter if you're selling a tube of toothpaste or a house. It's how the product is presented and staged, like a stage, a set, or something like that, is what defines it and what tells the story of what that house is, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, my question for Sharday is do you think that AI can replace you?
No. Because it doesn't, it's computerized. It doesn't have that personal touch where, I've definitely gone in and thought about, how would this look in this house? How would this fit the particular demographic of where this house is? You can't really do that by a computer. I'm not a tech person. So for me, it's like, I'm not doing that. I don't even use the VR that I have at home. So for me, no, it's not going to replace me. I mean, it might.
Wait a minute.
But it might. And there's a strong possibility that it will. But I feel like you would probably still need to have that personal touch and for that person to go into the house and kind of feel the house itself.
Yeah. Well, like with the AI, you would just see it on a computer screen. You're still going to go to the house. Well, I mean,
would you?
Like we were talking, it would be interesting, but it's a.
We'll get into that.
Or walk into a house and you put on the goggles and then see, that would be a little weird.
Yeah,
that would be.
Well, no, I'm not even talking about that. I'm saying during the pandemic, when we were selling houses, there was a lot of people buying houses sight unseen. They would see it for the first time when they did the home inspection.
That seems crazy.
Yeah.
No,
It seems
I don't know if I
crazy
could
to
do it,
me,
but I know
too.
you dealt with it.
I was telling Robert last night, I sold a lot of houses last year.
Yeah.
There was a lot of them that I never met the people.
I mean,
I've never physically, like, I'm closer to you all than I've been to a lot of clients that I sold houses
Isn't that
to.
wild?
And it is a reality in the way that things are going. And, I think Robert had a very great analogy that he used last night when we were talking about this topic and about how even your younger generations, how they date nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
A swipe left, swipe right, right?
Yeah,
So
just based on just what it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
I could never get used to that.
well, it's a crazy concept because we're not used to it. But like when Jeff Bezos, he went ahead and that's Spanish for kisses, by the way. People don't speak Spanish. But anyway, Jeff Bezos, when he started Amazon having books online on this marketplace, everybody thought he was an idiot because everybody goes to the bookstore to look at books and they got to touch it and they got to feel it and they got to smell the pages. Yeah, about that.
Here comes Kendall.
Yeah.
Kendall reading on a pad. That's
Everybody thought Elon Musk was an idiot that he wasn't going to have any dealerships for his cars. Well,
Yeah.
During the pandemic, what was happening? Everybody was ordering their cars.
Yeah.
It is a smooth transaction though. Like going through, just
Yeah.
don't have to deal with anybody. You just go on, pick what you want.
Yeah.
I know what I want. Go through the whole process. It is.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. I guess living in a home just seems so
permanent. Yeah.
permanent and personal.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like you got. I couldn't imagine just not knocking on the wall. You know what I mean? Or just feeling what it feels like because.
But people do that all the time every time they buy a new construction home. Think about it.
Well, yeah, that's
true.
what I was going to say. Like, I could see that working for new construction because you're able to pick what
Yeah.
you want. And I could see virtually how you could say, okay, I want, my kitchen to have white cabinets. I want my hardwood floors to look like this. But for a resale, I don't necessarily see how easy that could be, because sometimes resales has a little bit of lipstick on it.
Oh yeah.
But look, I mean, this technology, we can go anywhere with this technology where it adheres, but I mean, they have apps now with the staging thing that you can literally like map your house, say, I want eclectic, I want coastal, I want modern, contemporary, farmhouse.
Yeah.
And then AI will be like,
Okay, here's a game room. Here's a pool table.
Yeah.
Fits in perfectly.
yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're an online shopper, you're Amazoning your house, basically. At that, I guess it works for you then. You know, if you're not going in the house.
I think that's what it is. It's just
It's
once you
very
become
strange.
comfortable with doing or taking those risks, or just that's where. But you're right. Everything's kind of going in that direction. Like to blow it off, I think would be silly. You know what I mean? Like that wouldn't be a good idea to go, this is never going to work. You know what I mean? You have to adapt and figure it out.
I agree. And I'll take another shot at my own field. Real estate agents will be like, no, technology could never replace real estate agents. This is a relationship type of thing where we develop relationships with our clients and everything. And I will say this, define relationship, because technology is shaping the way we define relationships. Think about it this way. The younger generation, you're younger than me, shit. So
40s.
No, you look good.
Thanks, man.
Oh man.
Let's keep going.
I never would have guessed, bro. But think about it. Where's let's talk about Gen Zers. I got kids that are Gen Zers. Where do they go to find a date?
Yeah.
Online.
It's got to be, right? That's where, I don't know what percentage it is, but it's a giant. Nobody meets in the
They do it on apps.
grocery stores anymore.
No, they don't go to the pool hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do it on apps. That's starting the definition of forming relationships with people. People are in chat groups. People will become online keyboard warriors. That's how they communicate. So is it necessarily out of left field for the relationship to be defined? And we were just talking about, there were some clients that you had, especially during the pandemic, where you never met them.
Yeah. Even last year.
You know that agent that's in love with me? I show you all the emails that person keeps sending to me. I never met that person.
Yeah.
I never even shook
Yep.
hands with them.
Yep.
The person's obsessed with me. I'm so glad I didn't. But
Yeah. And it's a weird obsation too.
oh yeah, I'll have to show you. That's crazy.
Wow. Wow.
It's not for the podcast.
Now I'm excited.
Ooh,
But-
I want to see that, right?
But I got a question for Mark, right? So have you seen an uptick in people requesting their homes to be virtually staged?
Yeah, so I do get a lot of virtual staging things, and I can do pretty much what you want. Like I've got a suite of furniture that I can send you, and then I can just buy the package, and then you put it in wherever you want. But it's good. So my whole industry is kind of a thing where, hey, we want to get somebody to go see the house. Like, let's just showcase it in a way where you can't not pass this up. I want to go see it. But then you get there and it's still empty. That's got to be a weird thing. Even with the most gorgeous virtual staging, and then you go in and you're like, oh, this is still weird. I don't know. Like, where am I? Or I can make a bed fit in a spot because of the angle I've shot it that would never normally, it'd be blocking a door. Like I've done that before just because it looks good in the picture, which, I mean, AI and these headshots and stuff that now people are doing, and like, you don't look like that.
Like you're catfish.
That's catfish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's catfish.
But I do a lot of virtual staging. But it's only probably 2 photos because they don't want to do a lot. That's just either the living room and the primary or something like that is what it ends up being.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mark, there are plenty of buyers I come across, and because of good photographers like you, they felt like they got catfished when they got in the
that's
house.
my thing.
all the time. All the time.
This doesn't look like the photos at all.
It's nowhere near as bright.
This is nowhere near as good as the photos.
Yeah, just a long exposure.
Yeah.
End up shooting. Yeah, no, that is one thing. I tried to go where it's not super wide and deceiving, where it kind of gets distorted on the edges, because it can get weird. Like if a refrigerator door looks like it's 4 feet long because it's at the edge of the photo. It's something I take into account, but I definitely go wide and try to show it off, because that's like, you have one chance for an online presence. Like that's if everything is online. Everybody's online finding everything. I'm gonna go see it because it catches your eye. You know what I mean? If it's just a picture of the front of the house and it's crooked, or somebody's in the mirror, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's weird, then you're
Yeah.
like, it's a weird place. But if it's gonna look good, lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll do it.
Well, I've said it before, and photos of a house are the invitation for the buyer to come.
Sure.
And see more. You know, so it matters how your photos are actually even presented on the listing. So I always try to tell a story with photos.
Yeah.
You start off by looking at the house as you're pulling up, and then you go in through the front door, and what do you see? And you look to your left, you got this, you look to your right, and then you go to the kitchen, that type of thing.
There's a lot of times where people don't reorganize their photos.
Yes.
And if it just like happens where I have to shoot a bathroom first because then we hide it full of boxes.
Yeah.
And then if you don't change it, you're going to you walk in and you see a half bath, and then we go to the bedroom or whatever, because you're right, like reorganizing, because as you're scrolling through, you're going to be like, all right, here's the living room, kitchen, primary, and then you're rolling through it like you would actually see it. But if you don't reorganize your photos, then you kind of miss out.
It makes no sense when you're looking at the pictures.
Yeah, I don't like it when some of my colleagues will, you know how like you guys will take an exterior photo and it'll be slightly to the left, slightly to the right, and they'll fucking pile everyone up. So you're like, looking at the house, looking at the house, looking at the house, looking at the house. I'm like, dude, just fucking move on.
I'll do a drone shot where they use every single drone shot from every quarter angle. You're like,
Come on, just use one.
It's like
Just
a
pick
slideshow.
one.
It looks like a movie.
Jeez.
So look, right now we're gonna put 2 photos up on the screen for our audience.
So one of them was one of your listings, right?
Yep, they are both actually my listings. So one of them has been staged by AAA, the award-winning AAA staging, and the other has been virtually staged by Mark.
Oh,
And we would like for our audience to comment. Is it the traditional staging that looks best or the virtual? Yeah. And let's see how that poll runs.
Yeah. All right. So here's the imagery up right now. For those on Apple Podcasts, you can't see that. You're going to go view it on YouTube. So come and make sure you check us out on YouTube for that.
Worthwhile. Go look.
Yep. There's another one on there. Tell me about the fireplace you try to do with AI.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's transition a little bit over, right? I think we can all say that right now, the current technology, the way it is right now, there are elements that could maybe potentially compete with your staging, Sade. But the photography is the problem right now. So I took photos that Mark shot, and I went to AI and I said, hey, there's a photo of a listing that you took that had 2 trash cans outside of the house. I told AI, hey, remove the 2 trash cans that are in front of the house. AI put a blurred spot in 2 places, not over the trash cans, not even close to the trash cans, and said, I'm done. And I'm like,
You're welcome.
So then the next test was, okay, there was a house that we did that had a fireplace that was closed off.
Okay.
Normally, we would have you superimpose the fireplace in that image, right? So I told AI, superimpose a fireplace, a nice ambient lit fire in the fireplace. It put a square box dead center of the photo covering up Sade's lovely staging. So
Everything's on fire.
Yes.
yes.
It's a rectangular orange thing.
Yes.
And so the point of it is I don't think that the photography level is there yet to say that we can bring this all and just replace everybody around this table and like, look, we're going to sell houses like online somewhere, right? And the very last one was staging, right? So I told AI, I took a photo that you shot. It was an empty bedroom. And I said, stage this bedroom. And it told me that I'm unable to edit photography. However, I can create a rendition of a room being staged.
Like a little CGI thing.
Exactly.
Oh, weird.
So it is unable to physically take an image and stage it.
I wonder if that has to do with some of the metadata that I put into the photos too. You know what I mean? Like where everything becomes copyright. I don't know. That's interesting because I'm going to look into that because I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, it might be that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What I think AI has a hard time doing is the actual staging. I don't think that it's been used enough because when you think about AI, it's machine learning.
Right.
It has to be used repetitively to figure out what it should be doing, when it should be doing it, and how it should be doing it. And because no one's doing this at this current time, that it just doesn't understand how to stage
Right.
a room.
Right. Which most people don't know how to
Exactly.
stage a room within their own house.
Yeah.
You wouldn't. For every week, I have someone saying, "Can you help me decorate my house? Or can you help me? I bought this couch from this furniture store. And it looks so pretty in the store, and I got it home." And it does not look how it did in the store. And I'm like, well, basically, they staged the lighting, the flower on the table, the tree bouncing off of the wall art. All those things matter. And so...
Same way when you go buy a engagement ring, it looks freaking phenomenal inside the store. When you get home, it's like, what?
This is cloudy.
It looks so big in the glass case.
It's not sparkling at all. So, with that being said, I feel like, I don't know if an AI would be right now able to really pick up the angles of a room as well. Even with the virtual staging, I feel like you still have that idea of, okay, I need to put the couch here or I need to put an end table. But I could probably see where that could be hard as well, because what if you have a living room that's really small and very awkward? And for me, I can't even fit a full-size living room set in there. I have to do a couch and then side chairs. So for a virtual stage, sometimes I don't even know if that would be, feasible. I mean, I'm sure someone can do it and everybody can do it. Not everybody, but photographers probably can use their imagination. But I don't necessarily know if AI, and you're right, maybe there hasn't been anybody that tried enough, but I could still see it being kind of difficult because even I have a hard time sometimes, especially with some of these older houses that's been flipped and some of the rooms are so small or the living rooms make no sense whatsoever. I have to sit there and think about like, okay, how am I going to set up this furniture? How am I going to make it seem like you can fit a full-size living room set in here? Because nobody wants to buy a house that they can't fit a living room set in and have a place to watch TV, so I can see that, sometimes it can be difficult.
I was going to say, you don't do a lot of setups that are like with TVs and stuff. Yours is always kind of family oriented. Like it's more of a vibe type of thing because I've seen the prop TVs and people put them everywhere.
Yeah,
I love that you don't do that.
Because I feel like it boxes
Maybe
the
that's
person
what it is.
in. And so in their mind, they're going into a room and they're thinking, okay, this is where I have to put the TV.
Yeah.
And in some houses, there's really not a place that you can really put a TV. And so I don't want to highlight that.
Right.
I still want to just keep it open. And now I do know some stagers do. But for me, I just like to feel that open space when you walk in. You're not necessarily focusing on the television. You're focusing on, okay, how can I fit myself into this home?
Yeah, the way it feels.
And the way it feels versus just focusing on a television or an office per se,
Well, in the future, and I don't know if you guys saw this product, but the Apple Vision Pro. Now, this is obviously a plug for Apple, and they are not sponsoring us, but Apple,
Soon.
You guys can go ahead and let us know.
Send them in.
But but the Apple Vision Pro, it's an augmented reality. It looks like ski goggles. You put it on, and you literally can have a huge screen TV sitting in front of you,
I love that.
and you're watching that thing. And the thing about it is when I see that, I look at it and I think, how can this benefit, or how will this change the real estate, or completely disrupt the real estate industry?
Sure.
And because a lot of it is a visual thing, that what we do is when we sell homes, and you guys are part of that community in here. So how is that technology going to change things? And I think the bigger question is how do we adapt and leverage this technology for the better? Because you know what? Could it eliminate some jobs in the industry?
Absolutely.
Very
It's
well.
going
So
to.
it's going to.
Yeah.
So the ones that adapt it, and because it could be that the real estate agent, I might dare say, might have a role diminished.
Yeah.
It could go away, or it morphs into something new.
Yeah, I think it's morphing into something new.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, people are going to get left behind that that are blind to the transition into this AI or just emerging technologies. Like that's gonna happen for sure. But people that can step up or figure out how to use it to their benefit, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, me and Robert, we were kind of spitballing this idea back and forth, of a futuristic real estate environment where, a home buying couple, if you will, throws on a pair of AR, maybe it's Apple Vision, maybe it's Meta, I don't know, whatever their choice is. And they sit on their living room couch and they are able to observe and walk through a house in augmented reality. And they're able to say, hey, I feel comfortable based off of what we've seen that we're looking forward to making an offer on this house. And, when it comes to staging, I think that while you gave the very best thing, because I've done this before too, I'll see a photo of a house and I'll be like, Shaq and Sade staged that house right there. Like it's, a signature line when you see a signature line, right? I think as stagers, they may have to come up with something that's, is a signature line that can be incorporated, because I can see a day and time when home buyers are sitting on the couch shopping for a house in the AR, the augmented reality, and they're like, hey, we like this house, but we would like to see it in a contemporary setting.
Oh,
and
that just
boom.
Oh, that's wild.
It's contemporary. Oh, no. Farmhouse. Boom. It's farmhouse.
Yep.
Hey,
And so that's who we are as humans, though. We kind of create this environment because we want instant gratification.
I was just thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we want to be able to buy houses like we shop on Amazon. Like, oh, I love that
What
house.
if it tells you what store
Oh,
to
yeah.
buy it from?
Yeah.
And that could be it, the way to monetize it.
The
Yeah.
brokerages could
Yeah.
become stores instead of brokerages.
Yeah.
And hey, this store is carrying this, house
Particular line.
and this line. And, so there's a lot of different ways that it could change. The question is how soon does it change?
I mean, it's already starting on an application base, like, that app House. You guys might have saw that before. So you can go in and look at remodeled bathrooms, beautiful kitchens, and you can literally have that little hanging tag, and you can click on it, and it'll tell you where to get that piece of furniture from.
Yeah.
Well, that happens
So-
all the time on Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
Everything's
These
an ad.
influencers
It's a-
they influence buyers to want their houses to look like theirs. And half of those items that's in their house, either they're figured out a way to broker a deal with the company where they're like, okay, this is a table setting and I bought these 3 vases from Target, and you can just put it on a basket, and now you freshen up your living room, or your kitchen island or something like that, because sometimes people don't know what to do with that. So in a way it's already kind of like leaning, because I even fall into the trap sometimes of like, oh, that's really nice. Where did she get that from? And then I click on it, and then I click it and put it in my cart. So I guess theoretically, maybe it could be that easy where a stager could partner up with one of these companies and say, hey, I can virtually design these houses.
Your head's spinning. I can see the wheels going.
Yeah,
She's
like, wait.
guys,
I mean, if you got
Okay,
good
so
ideas, you
how
might
can I
want
figure out how I can
don't say
tap
too
into
much.
this now? All the girls that figured out early on how to tap into being an influencer, and then like I'm trying to come in at the end. Well, I want to start at the beginning.
I can see it. I can see the wheels
Yeah,
spinning.
like I can see now. At the beginning, I probably was a little like, no, it's not going to work.
Never.
But now
But
that
now you start thinking how to leverage
like, I'm
it.
thinking
Yeah.
like, okay, you know what? The
I
earlier
can
we
make
do
this
this,
work.
yeah,
Yes.
the earlier we do this, the earlier we set the tone for how it's going to be.
Yeah.
And I mean, not to be rude, but you know, we also have our veteran stagers who are really, really, really used to their traditional ways, and so we can obviously kind of be a step ahead of them as well.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, okay, well, we've transitioned into, you know, this digital AI way that we can stage houses. So, I mean, maybe it will work.
Yeah. So, what are you guys' final thoughts?
My final thought is we are closer than we think to this all being a reality.
Yeah, I do agree with you because I think, I mean, so I saw that Apple Vision Pro commercial on the playoffs. It was, and the commercial, and I went on there and I looked it up, and I mean, they're $3,600
For now,
for the
yeah.
goggles.
Yeah.
And obviously, the price will come down, just like a cell phone would be affordable. But I mean, like under 5 years, it's going to be just something. I mean, it's going to happen quick.
It could be as much as an iPhone in 5 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, even now with the 3D tours and things that we do, it's still like that's a baby version of taking a 360 camera and then standing there and spinning around. Like it's already happening, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's wild. It's going to happen a lot quicker than I think we're ready for.
What do you think, Sade?
Well, now y'all made me start thinking about ways where I can like start leveraging myself. It's crazy to me that someone would buy a house offline, but you made a good point. During the pandemic, it was crazy to think that you could order a car, an electric car at that, and put all the specs in, and then it even updates you on when it's going to be ready.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like, well, I guess it's going to happen, and it's happening. And it's for me, because I'm not a tech person, it's scaring me to a certain extent, because am I able to catch up with it, especially with having young kids? But I still can't imagine someone buying a house with not being there.
Yeah, walking in for the first time.
Like, I just can't.
It's been done several times. Like it's probably been done now hundreds of thousands of times.
I'm like, who
So,
would do that?
It's weird.
That I can tell you for a fact that will happen. I've been a part of it. I've
Same.
already told you. I have clients that I've never met. I went to go give them Christmas presents. They were out of town. You know, they were going to New York for the New Year's Eve thing, and they decided to spend a couple extra days there or whatever. But I went to give them a Christmas gift to meet them for the first time, and they were like, "No, we're already in New York. We came up early to get ready for New Year's Eve."
That's
And-
just-
but I still have never met them, never shook their hand, never even been as close as we are right
Right.
now. Everything was done at that time. We used FaceTime, we used WhatsApps
Right,
before,
right.
but
Especially people out of state.
Yeah.
You know,
or
they
out
buy
of
state all
country.
the time. Or out of
Think about it
country,
like
yeah.
this: here in this area where we're at, you have military
Yeah.
members that
A
are
lot
stationed
of-
in Japan or Spain
Yeah.
or Greece or Guam, and it would just be such an ease for them to be wherever they are, whatever they're doing. They say, "Hey, I'm ready to shop for a house right now." Throw on a set of, Apple Provision, if you will, and boom, they're shopping for a house.
I'll throw on the set with them and say, all right, let's go, man. Virtually.
Yeah.
What are your questions?
Hey, I'm here.
Probably.
And do you have an avatar where you put a suit on?
Dressing up nice
Yes.
today.
So I think early on in this process, when we were talking about our roles being redefined, I think that is in the earliest stages of it. You have to have an agent who pops on a headset as well and says, "Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Homebuyer, like, hey, I'm your real estate agent. I'm your real estate professional today. I'm going to go along with you on these tours.
Yes.
And what happens is the
You're in
machine
Japan,
learning.
you're in Virginia. You know?
Yeah, the machine learning of it all studies how the real estate agent handles the conversation, speaks intelligently to the things, and over time, the AI itself will learn and say
How to become
hey,
an agent itself.
it will learn and become an agent itself, and it will give the predictability and the probabilities to itself. If I say this line right here, she's gonna buy this house now.
Wow.
That's a little scary.
Yeah,
it
but that is a
is.
reality.
That is reality.
But
There would probably be a point in time when the agents are completely phased out, at least on the buying side.
Yeah.
You know, me and Robert talked about it. It's easier to replace the buyer's agent in this
Yeah.
transaction. And, but you could easily see a point in time where initially buyer's agents are a part of it, kind of like new construction homes. You have some
Yeah.
agent who's sitting there who's getting minimal commission to, tour houses with buyers all day. You could see a point in time when agents are sitting at home at a desk working from home with a VR set on or AR set on, and their job is to literally give as many tours virtually as possible. And if they make a sale, they get X amount of dollars.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, how do you define, like, how are you going to get paid because you're not physically
It's going to be a
getting
base
up?
pay.
Yeah.
It's going
like,
to be
even with staging.
like if you're selling furniture or something at a furniture store.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You'll have a base pay, and then you'll get whatever the commission is. It might be a $500 for every contract you write, but it's $15 an hour to sit there and give tours all day.
And
Yeah.
then it's probably going to be a set price of if you decorate this room, you just get paid this number.
I think your role becomes a little bit more tricky. I
Yeah.
think like
Well, because it's hands-on.
It-
Literally, you
Yeah,
have
it
to have
literally
hands-on to
hands-on.
do it.
it's vision.
You
It's
can't have
like-
AI like repair plumbing.
Exactly.
Right.
And you can't have AI replace Gucci or Prada or it's
Yeah,
a vision.
yeah.
It's a brand.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you kind of need to figure out, for you going forward specifically, what is going to be your signature trademark. Now, like we said, when we see photos online or we walk into your house, we like, oh man, this is AAA staging all
Right,
day. We
right.
know because you're the best in the area. We know it's
Thank
yours.
you.
And I'm not saying that just to say that because you're here. You guys are legitimately the best in the area.
Thank you.
So, but it's now saying, how can you make the rest of the world know a AAA stage?
Right.
And that's going to be the challenge going forward for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess my final thoughts on all this. What, were you going to say something?
No.
No? Okay, great.
I was just taking my flowers.
Okay, taking the flowers, taking the compliments.
Yes.
All right. I guess I'll sum it all up. I heard a little bit from you, Sharday, Josh, Mark, and I would say that it's an emerging technology, AI, VR, AR. Those, no matter what area of the industry you're in, okay, if you do not adapt to the emerging technology, you will be phased out completely. It may end up the traditional way of doing things doesn't last the same way forever. So you have to be able to adopt and learn new ways of doing business in order to be successful in whatever it is you're doing. And if you don't, I don't know. We'll see in the future. Everybody watching the video, thanks for watching. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you think about emerging technology and what it will mean in the future of real estate. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. If you're following us on Apple Podcast or the other streaming services, go ahead and follow us for more content. Again, thanks for watching. See you soon.